So I'm going to start by reading a section of Psalm 130 and all of 131. So I'm starting on verse 5 of 130. I wait for the Lord, my soul waits, and in his word I hope. My soul waits for the Lord, more than those who watch for the morning, more than those who watch for the morning. And then Psalm 131, which is titled Song of Quiet Trust. O Lord, my heart is not lifted up. My eyes are not raised too high. I do not occupy myself with things too great and too marvelous for me. But I have calmed and quieted my soul, like a weaned child with its mother. My soul, like the weaned child that is with me. O Israel, hope in the Lord from this time on and forevermore. So, basically, I wanted to talk a little bit about how these verses make me feel and how I reflected upon these verses this week, because I have kind of felt a little lost lately, and when I feel lost, I always go back to the Psalms. I feel like the Psalms are very relatable, and I can always find myself relating to whatever David's going through or the psalmist is going through, and it helps me to reassess how I can communicate with God and how I can, recreate my relationship with God when I'm in a time of struggle. So when I'm reading the Psalms, I ask myself, I'm still praying, but how well am I praying? How well am I studying these words? So I felt like David, while he is singing his Psalms, he's asking God for help and always ends with thankfulness and hope and trust in the Lord. Even when he starts out with saying, God, why have you forsaken me? He ends with thanking the Lord for his goodness. So I just wanted to remind us how well the Psalms can reacquaint us with the Lord. But another way that we can become reacquainted is by asking ourselves certain questions. So one question I like to ask myself is, why are we as Christians, as a group, here on earth? And what is our motivation? My answer to that question this week was, we are here for Jesus. We are here for love. We are here for justice. And then another question is, how can we be like Jesus to the people around us? And that's, different answers for different people. But in my heart, I feel that we just show love and kindness to all that we encounter. And then another question I like to ask myself is, how can we be like Jesus to people we talk to every day? Because sometimes we forget, that the person next to us that we spend every day with, they are also a child of God, and we need to treat them like that, even when we, get frustrated with them because we spend every moment with them, and that's really a question for people that, when we're actually out in society and you work with someone that you see every day and you're just kind of frustrated with them and you just kind of ignore them. I like to reassess how I treat those people, because I know I do have those people in my life where I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to ignore them because they annoy me. But instead, we should treat them with kindness and turn around and reassess how we are treating them. Just because we are in a Christian environment, just because we are a Christian, does not mean we can stop being Christ to one another. Just because we say we're Christian doesn't mean we can stop saying we're Christ, or being nice to each other. Yes, that's what I meant. And then my last thing I wanted to talk about is just how we are using justice in our world as Christians. I've been struggling with everything going on. Just how do I react? How do I help in this time? Because so many people are just saying, you need to donate, you need to join a protest, you need to do this. And it's scary. It's really scary. So I think we just need to be doing something bigger than what we are doing and what we can do. So if we say we speak for love and justice, how can we act like we speak for love and justice? We can't just continue to post on Facebook and like posts about, the things that we agree with in these times. And we can't just sit and watch the world literally burn and be okay with that. And I'm still struggling with answers about what I can do personally. But then I remind myself when I'm asking myself all these questions, what to do, to pray. And, to a normal person, to a non-Christian, they would look at me and say, I'm doing nothing. But to us, we're doing everything we can. So when there's questions about what to do and how to act in times of universal struggle like we're in right now, we just need to ask the Lord for guidance. And right before I got on, I saw a Instagram post from an artist that I like, and he was just talking about everything going on. And he said, be safe, but make sure your voice is heard. And I just wanted to add to that and say, be safe and trust in the Lord. That's all I have for you guys today.